What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about 5 reasons to love England. Not like, love. Love England. That's a strong word, love. This video here is about this individual who I know has moved to England at a later time in her life, so she wasn't born there. She moved there and likes to give her experiences about England, and in this case, 5 reasons why she loves it. Which is, that's beautiful. It's good stuff. I'm always interested in learning more things about England, and some of the fun things are those little tiny unique things you can only learn and experience by living there. And those are the little things that you learn to grow and love about a certain place. So I thought this would be pretty interesting. So let's take a look.
Hi everyone, it's me. This week I wanted to talk about 5 things I love about England. I did a video, 5 things I hate about England, a few weeks ago. I'll post the link down below. But I mean, I don't have that many videos, so it'll be pretty easy to find. But anyways, before I get started, I just wanted to have like a PSA moment, a public service announcement, and just thanks so much for watching these things and visiting my blog and connecting with me on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube, subscribing, liking, whatever.
Oh wow, this is kind of I thought usually these just jump right into the story, like in this case, why she loves England, but this is like a heartfelt, touching, like, thank you for watching thing. This is nice.
I just really appreciate the fact that people are actually listening and reading and watching, and so thank you. And without ado, these are 5 things I love about England. Okay. Number 1, what I love about England is the history and the architecture. I realize they're sort of 2 separate things. I think they kind of go hand in hand, and I'm putting them together.
Oh my goodness, I cannot say more about this one. This deserves to be, well, actually, I don't know if she's saying this is number 5 or number 1, but this might be one of the biggest, most important, obvious things that I've seen, on YouTube at least, about England and the UK, is the architecture, the history there is so deep. Like, British Empire, all that deep history. The stuff you can see and visit and experience in England is so drastically different than America that it's insane. It's like it is another country, but it's like another planet at times. It's like, what is this fantasy world? England with all this crazy, amazing historical stuff. I don't even know if people in England get used to it or take it for granted or are in amazement every day of it, but the more I see, it's just like constantly amazing chapel, building, landscape, just nonstop.
Together anyway, so it doesn't matter. The history here is incredible. We're talking English, obviously, Normans, Vikings, Saxons, tribes, just like everything. We're talking about everything. The other day I was going for a hike, and you turn the corner and all of a sudden there's a World War II bunker just chilling in the forest.
Exactly. It's that kind of thing. It's like everywhere you turn, there's like amazing parts of history or something cultural or I'm jealous.
You keep going and you kind of curve to the side and there's burial mounds, like medieval burial mounds. And that stuff just blows my mind. When I think about in Canada, if a house is sort of like 100 to 150 years, it usually gets like heritage designation. And then I think about here and I think about Stonehenge.
This is a good point. Like the history of America, and in her case, Canada, is not that long and like rich. Like it's got its history, and we're proud of it, and like we learn about it and respect it. And the only difference is in Great Britain, the history is so much longer. It's simply existed longer. That's the thing. So there's just a lot more stuff.
And how old that is, it just blows my mind. And then the architecture is absolutely beautiful. You've got London. I mean, everyone sort of knows what London looks like, but then when you go to places like Bath, that has this beautiful sort of yellow stone European look almost to it. The architecture
Bath. I'm not sure I'm familiar with Bath. Is that a city?
is incredible. And then you go to Oxford and it looks very, intelligently beautiful white stone buildings. And it's just, the architecture is incredible. The history is wonderful. And
Hold on. I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Is Bath in London? London? Maybe. Hold on. Bath, London? Bath is a valley of the river west of London? Ooh. Maybe she was talking about Oxford as well. Oh well. This video isn't necessarily about English geography. It's about 5 reasons to love England. So I'll have to research Bath later, I guess.
I just love it. And number 2, what I love about England, in Canada, you might know, or my Canadians will know, when you start a job, basically the common vacation time will be 2 weeks. So we're talking 10 days. In England, I don't know if it's mandatory or if it's common or what's the law, because I didn't do any research for this, but I know that people get 25 days holiday. I got 25 days holiday.
20 days. 25 days? Yeah, like America. It's even like, 2 weeks paid vacation. That's almost a saying in America. It's like, oh yeah, this job will have 2 weeks paid vacation. And people here are like, nice. Yeah, that's amazing. Because it's like the best you get. 20 days? 25 days? That's like a month. That's incredible, for one thing. The fact that England is willing to focus more on employee happiness is smart, for the business to make its employees happier. That's gonna probably increase productivity, and it just makes overall for a more happy society. That's almost twice as long. Yeah, twice as long as average American vacation.
You get 25 days holiday, you get 25 days holiday. It's incredible. I have an entry-level job, as a foreigner, and I'm getting 25 paid vacation days.
Wow.
And that's awesome. Canada, we need 25 days. We need it. Number 3, what I love about England is the countryside and the hikes. Again, a lot of the time we think of London when we think of England, which is such a shame, because as much as London is cool, there is so much more to the country, and I think it's much more rural and countryside than people imagine. So
yeah, I guess in America, people have this idea in their mind of amazing landscapes and countryside in Scotland or Ireland or Wales, but I don't know if that's so much an association that Americans have with England, although I know it's true. I guess Americans are just, like she said, kind of obsessed with London and the big amazing hubs in England like that. But yeah, amazing countryside and landscapes, that is incredible as well.
From here, I live in a town near, kind of large cities near London, sort of within 10-minute drive. There are so many trails and hikes, and what I love about them is this public right-of-way. So one of my favorite hikes is this big loop, but you have to go through farms to be able to connect to the loop. And normally that's private property, you wouldn't be allowed to. But with this public right-of-way, I'm allowed to walk through this field, even if there's cows, horses, sheep, goats.
Really? Wow. So England places enough of an emphasis on exploring the land and an importance on being able to go on hikes and appreciate nature, that it's a law, the right to at least follow these trails and go through certain properties. That's pretty cool, honestly. That's pretty cool. That's not a thing in America. America, you're pretty hard pressed to find a good trail. It's basically very much dependent on where you happen to live, how fun or interesting any kind of trail you're going to find. And Americans aren't that big into hiking and exploring anyway, on average. So this is cool. This is like a cool cultural difference.
Chickens, not come across chickens yet, but maybe. You're allowed to walk through. Obviously, there's an understanding that you're not going to trash the place, you're not going to disturb the animals, you're not going to disturb the farmland or the crops or anything. But there will literally be these public right-of-way, like, I don't know what they're called. I had a picture of them. And you gotta either climb over them or there's a gate. Okay. A lot of times that's like to keep the animals in, obviously, but you're still allowed through, and it's signposted, this is public right-of-way access or whatever. And it just allows you to see so much more of the country than being all sort of blocked off private property. You're not allowed here. It's just...
maybe that's another thing. It is all blocked off private property in America as well. And maybe it's just because in America, like, people don't trust each other that much to, like, not litter or vandalize something or steal something. So farms and pastures and people who own land in America, really do not want strangers walking through their property at all. Like, at all.
It's really awesome. Number 4, what I love about England, I love the pub culture. I'm talking pubs everywhere. There's so much to choose from. They got so many interesting names.
The pub culture. I still struggle with the difference between pubs and bars, but I know there is a pretty substantial difference. A pub, basically, we don't use the word pub in America. At all. Not used. But we all know the word. It's just such a iconic, like, British word that Americans know of pubs. You might say the word if you're going to be silly, but there are no pubs. So it's kind of funny to talk about. Really, like, lay it out like that. But we have bars. Americans love bars. But pubs just seem like a step up in the experience. And you're also expected to, like, sit down, enjoy yourself. There's, like, a pub culture. You might get something to eat, I think. It's like pubs are like super mega bars that are classier, maybe, and better. But definitely better. But I still feel like I don't truly appreciate... I need to do like a reaction completely devoted to pubs and just pubs to like soak in all the pubs and be like, oh, that's what a pub is. Okay.
But what I love about them is this culture of just comfort, I guess.
Right.
In Canada, if you wanted to go out, I guess you go to a bar, because we don't really have that many pubs. So you go to a bar, it's very like adult oriented, people are using maybe dressy, whatever. It can be a little bit expensive. You're obviously tipping everybody because you have to tip in Canada.
Yeah. I like what she's saying about pubs are like more cozy and comfortable and like more of a different experience. That seems accurate to me.
Whereas here, when you go to a pub, it feels very much like somebody's living room. And you always have like your local pub or just your local. So my local is down the street. It's literally a 2-minute walk. I spent so much money there when I first moved, but I'm trying not to. But you go...
Oh, you're local. You're local. I've never heard of that. That's fun.
Go there and it's just comfortable, and they've got these big plush chairs, and you get your pint that's really cheap, and you just sort of sit and chat with people you might not even know. And there's kids, there's families. Some pubs that have the space will actually have like a jungle gym kind of thing set up in the back for the kids, and it's just very much...
What? Really? I've never heard of that. Like kids and families going to pubs? Like it's that much of a community type of thing? That's really interesting. I didn't think of it like that at all. But I've only ever seen pubs in like movies or something here and there. You know what this kind of reminds me of in America? Kind of reminds me of like coffee shops, like mom and pop coffee shops in America. they'll put sofas out, they'll put cozy chairs out, music, and like you're just there to kind of sit and relax and slowly drink your coffee and just chill, read a book, or talk to somebody. It's almost like the American coffee shop reminds me of the English pub. That's a comparison I never thought about.
Like a welcoming, comforting sort of environment, and I just love it.
Okay.
And number 5, what I love about England is the people. I love the people here. I know it's sort of stereotypical because not everybody's the same, but I find English people are so polite and kind, and everybody has been really welcoming to me.
You know, this is extra sort of special praise coming from a Canadian, because Canadians are famously kind and generous and nice people. So if she is saying her experience in England has been meeting like wonderful, kind, welcoming people, that's like the genuine truth of it. That is like very high praise. So that's kind of really nice to hear.
As a foreigner living amongst them, and it's just been really lovely. And I find that a lot of people have this dark, sarcastic sense of humor that I love so much, but also this quiet determination that the English people tend to have. That doesn't really make sense. Basically, in the last sort of 6 months, England has seen some really tough situations. We had the Westminster terrorist attack, we had the terrorist bombing in Manchester, we had the Grenfell Tower fire. Quite a lot of things in a short span of time that could cause any city or country to panic.
When was all this? Okay, so this was like 5 years ago. Okay.
Or to, like the chaos. And yet here, people, they have their minute of silence. We had moments of silence at work. You reflect on the victims and those that are impacted. You have that quiet moment, and then immediately fundraisers are happening. Charities are donating. People are.
Well, obviously this is like really touching to hear, and you do kind of. They say like in adversity is when you like truly find out people's character. So again, this is like super high praise for England. That's super cool.
Are donating anything basically to those that are impacted. But then there's this, like I said, this quiet determination where it's like, it's very much keep calm and carry on. Like nothing could throw these people off track. They are just so like, I'm going to live my life. We're going to help these people. Nothing anybody can do is going to stop that. And I absolutely love that quality so much. If that makes sense at all, I hope it does.
That's really nice. I have heard about like the sort of dark sense of humor, which I think is very funny, British sense of humor kind of thing. But this like community, like sticking together, like we're gonna press on, determination is also like not something you hear as much about England, but is really nice.
And those are my 5 things I love about England. I had tons more. I had like this list that I just wrote out. So maybe I'll do like a part 2, things I love about England, in a little while. But if you've ever visited England or lived here or had vacation, whatever, I'd love to know what you loved about England. So if you leave a comment on my YouTube video or on my Facebook or my blog, whatever, I'd love to know what you love about England. And thanks for watching.
Okay. All right. Very good. This was by Adventures and Naps, and I liked it. I give it a like. Well, she asked for some comments on this, so let's check out some of the comments. I'm from India, lived in England since 2004, and I think the best part about England is the people. Most of them are very polite, well-mannered, knowledgeable, smart, and have lots of empathy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. As another Canadian living in England, I agree with all your loves, particularly your first and last. Yes, the wonderful history and architecture everywhere. That's one that I personally agree with. Plus the lovely people. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm talking about. Like, until you actually step foot in another country that you were not born and raised in, and actually are on the ground talking to the people, living amongst the English people, it's impossible to get like a true, like real life impression. And from several of these comments, and obviously this entire video, that real life experience living in England has been quite positive, very positive, which is really cool. These were some things that I really hadn't heard about England from my sort of American point of view and what I get to hear. So I feel like this is really nice to watch and hear about. So I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to England, the UK, the culture there, stuff that I've never seen before there, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.